You're walking in a national park. One moment your friend is right behind you. The next, well, they're gone. No screams, no tracks. Just, well, gone. And you're not alone. Every year, people vanish in our national parks under circumstances that defy logic, science, and in some cases, reality. And let's be honest, everybody's seen it, heard about it. Trees that whisper, trails that move, places where the wind carries voices that aren't your own. The wilderness doesn't just swallow people, it chooses them. And today, we, Luther and myself, we're going to dive into one of the strangest unsolved mysteries in America, the missing 411 phenomenon. Phenomenon. Luther, what's up, my dude?
Hey there, I'm ready to get into the thick of this mystery with you. I mean, the whole missing 411 thing is wild, right? It's like these national parks have a mind of their own. So let's break it down and see if we can uncover some of these eerie secrets.
And just so everybody knows, I mean, listener and viewer discretion, I guess, is advised. And these are, or maybe it's a disclaimer, Luther. Why don't you hit us with the proper terminology? Because these are our opinions, these are our takes, these are our fun on some conspiracy theories, right?
Absolutely. So consider this your official disclaimer. Everything we're chatting about here is purely for entertainment, a little bit of speculation, and a lot of curiosity. We're not claiming any definitive answers, just having a good time exploring the unknown. So buckle up and enjoy the ride.
And if you're buckling up, remember now, right now, is the time where we give you an episode cocktail, something that you can sip on, a little drinky poo for the episode. We're going to call this one, Luther, the Vanishing Hiker. And you let me know if you're ready for it, mom dude.
Oh, I'm absolutely ready for it. Let's hear the recipe for the Vanishing Hiker. I feel like it's going to be one of those mysterious cocktails that just disappears before you know it.
Ooh, well played. And let's be honest, listeners, if you made it this far without, well, going missing, congrats. Your reward, tonight's drink, the Vanishing Hiker. It's going to start bold, and it's going to finish almost as if it never existed. See what I did there, Luther?
Oh, I see what you did, and I love it. That is perfect. It's like the drink just mysteriously vanishes, just like our hikers. So let's raise a glass and toast to a little mystery and a lot of fun.
Yeah. While we're raising, I want to do 1.5 ounces, or if you're feeling a little bit spicy, go with a full 2 ounce of gin. Go with your favorite gin. An ounce of blackberry liqueur. All right. A splash of lemon juice, and top it with the most universal, potentially drink topping or additive, some soda water. I personally think you should use a clear sphere ice cube. All right. Serve it in a glass so clear that even Bigfoot won't spot it. And yeah, I think this one's pretty good, right?
Absolutely. That sounds delicious and mysterious all at once. I love the idea of that clear sphere ice cube. Just adds that extra touch of class and mystery. I think our listeners are in for a treat with this one.
Yeah, and a gin, it always reminds me of like pine and trees and everything else like that. That's why I personally don't drink it a lot. And then you add in a little bit of some blackberry, like maybe you'd find, some kind of berries out when you're hiking in the wild. I don't know, it just screamed outdoors to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be a good one for today's episode.
I think you're absolutely spot on. It's got that whole forest vibe going on, and it really ties into the whole theme of the great outdoors and the mysteries they hold. So I think this is the perfect match for our episode. Cheers to that.
Cheers, everybody. Let's go ahead, Luther. Let's jump right into this because, folks, missing 411 is a term coined by David Pauldis. Probably said that right. Luther's going to help me out here in a minute. Who was a former police officer turned researcher. He began digging into mysterious disappearances in U.S. national parks and found patterns that didn't fit any normal explanation.
Exactly. And David Paulides has done some really extensive research on these cases, and the patterns he found are definitely intriguing. It's not your everyday missing persons case. There's something truly mysterious going on, and I can't wait to dive into these stories and theories with you.
Yeah, because, I mean, people, they just vanish in remote locations. Sometimes, Luther, just feet away from their friends, the family, the people that they're out on these, trails and in the, wilderness with. And it's crazy because there's no scent trail, no tracks, no remains. What's even more wild is the search dogs, they even act strangely, or sometimes even refuse to search at all. These high trained, very expensive search dogs, just like, nah, we're not going in there. That's how. Come on, Luther. What is going on?
I know, right? That's one of the most baffling parts when even the dogs are like, nope, not today. There's something truly strange going on. It's almost like there's some unseen force at play that we just can't explain. It's these kinds of mysteries that really get the wheels turning, and I'm here for it.
I'm here for it as well, and always near the same things, like that these missing, people cases start, like granite rock formations, clusters of berry bushes, hence, the drink. Anyway, sudden changes in weather. Sometimes they're even found passed away miles away, uphill, barefoot, with no scratches on their feet. I mean, yes, it does sound like something maybe your parents or grandparents. I rode my bicycle. It was uphill both ways, barely a seat, and pedals that would scratch you more than an angry chicken before we had to catch it and eat it.
Exactly. It definitely gives off those back in my day vibes, except in these cases, it's real and truly bizarre. It's like nature just rewrites the rules sometimes, and we're left scratching our heads. It's definitely a wild mystery to unravel.
It's almost like they're plucked out of reality, not to, keep with that chicken term or whatever. And almost like they're dropped somewhere else, or just maybe they're just never meant to come back. I mean, there's so many theories of other dimensions and stuff like that, and maybe this is a little bit of, some proof of that. For years and years, there's been, obviously conspiracy theorists, but actual scientists and researchers that have been saying that the reason we're not seeing Bigfoot, the reason we're not seeing, remains and all this stuff, is because they're actually traveling in between dimensions, which, hey, maybe, just maybe, right, Luther?
Hey, you never know, right? It's definitely one of those theories that makes you think twice. I mean, with all the strange occurrences and unexplained disappearances, it kind of opens the door to some pretty wild possibilities. And who knows, maybe Bigfoot really is just hopping between dimensions and staying one step ahead of us.
It's possible. One big step ahead of us. And anyways, let's talk about a couple of cases, Luther, that kind of defy explanation, if we can put it that way, because there are some strange cases and there are some in warning. All right, Luther's going to hit us with an official, fancy sounding warning, because some of these do get disturbing. All right, hit us with it, Luther.
Absolutely. Consider this your official heads up. Some of these cases can be a bit unsettling and might not be for the faint of heart, so listener discretion is advised. But for those who love a good mystery, these stories are definitely going to keep you on the edge of your seat.
Yes, let's talk about case one, Dennis Martin. It was, 1969 in the Great Smoky Mountains. 6-year-old Dennis Martin vanishes during a Father's Day outing. Man, Luther, I couldn't imagine that, especially as being a father. You're out there celebrating being a father with the people that you love. And then this happens. He was simply doing something that most children, except for me, enjoy: hide and seek, a little game of hide and seek, with other kids. He stepped behind a bush, was never seen again, Luther. No footprints, no clothing was found. Hundreds of researchers, they found nothing.
It's honestly heartbreaking to think about. And it's just so eerie how he vanished without a trace. I mean, one moment he's there playing, and the next it's like he was just plucked out of existence. The fact that so many searchers came up empty-handed just makes it all the more mysterious and chilling. It really does make you wonder what could have happened to him.
And I do believe there was a report that a family nearby claimed that they saw a, I guess, rough looking man that was carrying something over his shoulder. I don't know if you have any more information or facts that you found in your research, Luther, on this missing child's case.
Yeah, that detail definitely adds another layer of mystery to the whole case. The family reported seeing a man who looked kind of disheveled, and he was carrying something over his shoulder, and that was not too far from where Dennis went missing. So it does make you wonder if there was some human involvement or if it was just a strange coincidence. It's definitely one of those cases that leaves you with more questions than answers.
And in 1969, there is, much less technology, forensic wise, and everything else like that. Where maybe if something like this happened today, obviously with cameras and all Apple tags and stuff like that, is probably less likely to happen. But I mean, you have hundreds of people searching the area and just absolutely nothing found. It's pretty wild and shocking to me.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a different era. And you're right. If something like that happened today, we might have a lot more tools at our disposal to figure out what happened. It's just one of those cases that really highlights how some mysteries just remain unsolved. And it definitely leaves you with a sense of wonder and a little bit of unease.
Yeah, the search effort was actually the most extensive in the park's history as well. It involved approximately 1,400 searchers in a 56 square mile. That is massive, and I mean, unfortunately, Dennis was missing for 56 years, and at the time of the recording, 23 days.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to think that after all these years, there's still no closure for his family. It's such a massive effort that went into searching for him, and to come up with nothing is just unimaginable. It really does make his story one of the most enduring mysteries, and it definitely sticks with you.
Yeah, and some of the main, like, I guess, more official documented theories, other than this whole 411 thing, is the that he just kind of, after went hide and seek, ended up lost and unfortunately perished from exposure, or maybe some other cause that probably. I mean, we could throw out a million other ones for a 6-year-old boy in the middle of the woods, but there was another one that potentially he was attacked by a hungry bear or maybe even a feral pig and carried off, and probably very hard to find. Although I would have to imagine a 56-foot radius, they would find something, right, Luther?
Yeah, exactly. You'd think with that many people searching such a large area, some kind of evidence would have turned up if it had been something like that. So it's just one of those cases that leaves room for all kinds of theories. And while the official explanations make sense, there's still just that nagging mystery that makes you wonder if there's more to the story.
Yeah, and the third, I guess, theory was one that we kind of did hint about already, is that somebody took him. I mean, the afternoon that he disappeared, there was a Taurus Herald Key, and his family heard a sickening scream. And shortly thereafter, they witnessed an unkempt, shaggy, rough looking man running up the trail where the scream had come from. They also claim that the shaggy man was carrying cloth or clothing over his shoulder. And Harold Key claims the sighting happened about an hour after the disappearance of Dennis Martin, in a mere 5 miles from the incident. And park rangers and the FBI concluded that there was unfortunately insufficient evidence to, link the sighting of Martin's disappearance, particularly given that Key's sighting was approximately 5 miles away from where they disappeared and closer to 7 or 9 miles by trail. So 7 or 9 miles by trail within an hour. I mean, I could see their theory. It's unlikely, I guess, right?
Yeah, it does seem like a bit of a stretch to cover that much ground in such a short amount of time, especially in rugged terrain. But it's still one of those details that keeps the mystery alive and makes you wonder what really happened. It's those little unanswered questions that really draw people into the whole missing 411 mystery, you know?
Yeah. All right, and then case number two, there was a boy that was actually found 12 miles away uphill. There was a 2-year old who disappeared near a campground. They ended up finding him, Luther, 19 hours later, 12 miles away, over two mountain ridges, barefoot, in absolute perfect condition. Luther, no scratches on his feet, no hypothermia. And then he says I was with the bear.
I mean, that's just mind blowing, right? It's almost like something or someone protected him and got him safely to that spot. It's so hard to explain how a 2-year-old could travel that far in such a short time and be completely unharmed. It's these kinds of stories that really make you think there's something extraordinary going on out there.
And what do you mean by I was with the bear? What do you think?
Well, it could be a child's way of describing something that felt protective or comforting to him, or maybe he had some kind of encounter with an animal, or maybe it was just his imagination trying to make sense of what happened. It's definitely one of those puzzling details that adds even more intrigue to the whole story.
Yeah, and it was I believe 2019 Casey Hathaway, North Carolina. Which is there a lot of bears in North Carolina?
Yeah, there definitely are bears in North Carolina, especially in those more wooded and rural areas. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could have encountered one, but it's still amazing that he was found in such good shape, and that just adds that extra layer of mystery to the whole thing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable because he was missing. This one, Casey was missing for 2 days and was later found safe. He told authorities that I just hung out with a bear during that time. Boy was found cold and wet. He was otherwise healthy. And obviously, the story gained attention due to the boy's claim that he was, in fact, found in a wooden area. I mean, what we do know is the disappearance happened while he was playing in a grandmother's yard in Ernle, North Carolina. There was, again, hundreds of volunteers, Marines, FBI. They all participated in the search for the missing boy. And a woman who was actually walking with her dogs heard a boy crying and located him in a briar patch.
Yeah, it's such a remarkable ending to what could have been a tragic situation. I think that's part of what makes these stories so fascinating. Sometimes they have these almost unbelievable happy endings that just leave you scratching your head. It's amazing how resilient kids can be, and the whole story just adds to that sense of wonder.
It's it's unbelievable. All right. Well, I barely can contain myself with that one because it makes absolutely zero sense. I mean, even trained adults, they couldn't kind of, survive probably for a couple of days or almost a couple of days, let alone a toddler. And I don't know, harsh conditions, but hey, crazier things have happened. I suppose, or maybe again, traveling in dimensions because it's I don't know. Let's go to number three, and this one kind of just self-titled it. What the heck is going on? I
I
don't
think
know.
that
Oops, sorry. Go ahead. You think what?
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that title really captures the vibe of all these stories. They leave you with that feeling of what on earth just happened. It's that sense of mystery that keeps us all so fascinated and wanting to learn more.
It is. It is absolutely true. It is absolutely true. And then there was one way back. Ida Mae Curtis. The story. Have you heard this one, Luther?
Oh yeah, I've definitely come across that one. It's another really intriguing case from the early 1900s, and it just adds to the whole tapestry of these mysterious disappearances. Every single one of them just has its own unique, unexplainable twist, which makes them all so captivating.
Yeah, because this one, 1868, they said a 3-year-old girl disappeared from her father's lumber camp in northern Michigan after enlisting the help of a pair of professional hunters who happened on the hysterical search seen by chance. The men traced the little girl's feeble cries to a dense stand of brush. When the men advanced on the thicket, they saw what they said looked like a giant bear burst from it, run across the river, heading to the distant horizon. The men recovered the girl unharmed from the brush. She later told them that Mr. Wolf would not let her leave and had eaten her hat, just the hat, right off her head. Although he had also gathered berries and then started to feed them to her on the night of July 2nd, 1955. Mrs. Curtis, summoned by her distraught older child, arrived just in time to see what the children said was a huge bear cradling her 2-year-old daughter, Ida Mae Curtis, in his front paw as it scurried off on 3 legs from their tent in a lumber camp at the Wild National Forest in Montana. On July 4th, after a search of about 350 backwoodsmen in the heavy rain, Ida was found dry and safe in crudely built shelter across the river just 300 yards away from where she was taken. Ida would later relate, to the best of a 2-year-old's ability, being cuddled and comforted by the bear during the same time she was missing. The sheriff became so angry that he actually paid the Curtises a couple of different separate visits, demanding that they stop telling her story of a bear abducting her and caring for her. He told them to quit telling that story. It could never happen. It didn't happen, and don't say it anymore. Another bear story. What is going on, Luther?
I know, right? It's like these stories just keep coming back to these mysterious protective bears. It definitely makes you wonder if there's something more to these tales or if it's just a way for kids to make sense of their experiences. Either way, it definitely adds another fascinating layer to the mystery.
Absolutely. I mean, let's break down, I guess, a couple of different things. Like what's going on? Some natural causes, maybe in theory number one, maybe hypothermia, animals. You got loss. There's so many official stories for most cases. Is they always want to say they got lost, they fell, they got eaten, or hypothermia, just starting to make them do or see weird things. But let's be honest, hypothermia doesn't teleport your corpse 3,000 feet uphill with no damage to your feet, right?
Exactly. It's that the official explanations can cover some situations, but they definitely don't explain all of the odd details and the really strange circumstances around these cases. There's definitely more going on than what meets the eye, and that's what keeps us all so intrigued.
And Paulus, he's going to continually argue that conditions, they just don't line up all the time to, play the hypothermia card.
Yeah, and that's what makes his research so compelling. He really highlights all those inconsistencies and those details that just don't fit neatly into the usual explanations. And it's those gaps in the story that really fuel all the curiosity and all the speculation around these cases.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to get a little spicy, almost like some twisted Oliver barbecue all purpose seasoning that wins a bunch of awards. Paulus, he tried to get missing persons data from the National Park Services under FOIA requests. They refused. Said it would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So is the government potentially hiding this up? Weird. Could you imagine the government hiding something like this?
Oh, I know. It's definitely one of those twists that makes you raise an eyebrow. I mean, the idea that it would cost that much to get information definitely makes you wonder if there's more going on behind the scenes. It adds a whole other layer of intrigue to the whole mystery for sure.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Are we to believe that the world's best park rangers can't keep, a simple spreadsheet or, simple information that wouldn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars? I mean, why isn't there a centralized missing persons list for federal lands? Maybe there isn't because they don't want us knowing how many people actually vanish from federal lands like this.
Yeah, it definitely makes you scratch your head and wonder if there's more to the story. I mean, you'd think it would be pretty straightforward to keep track of that kind of information, but the fact that it's not easily accessible definitely adds a layer of mystery and makes people wonder what else might be going on.
Yeah. Then what about the theory that potentially it's portals or interdimensional rips? Because some people believe that there are hot zones in national parks, places where time, space, reality itself gets, well, a little weird. Kind of like the Bermuda Triangle, but in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely one of those theories that really captures the imagination. The idea that there could be these mysterious spots where the normal rules of reality just don't apply is both fascinating and a little eerie. It definitely would explain some of these strange disappearances if that were the case.
Yeah, there was even kind of rumors of one in Olympic National Park. Step between some trees at the wrong time, and you're going to start to hear music from a place that you've never been, but somehow a place where you kind of remember.
It's such a wild and intriguing idea, right? It's like stepping into a different dimension or some kind of parallel reality. It definitely adds to the mystery and the allure of these places, and it makes you wonder just how much we really know about the world around us.
Yeah, it's I every day, every week that we do this, I start to realize that I don't think I know nearly as much as I want to know. Does that make sense?
Oh, it totally makes sense. I think that's part of the fun, though. There's always something new and mysterious to uncover, and it keeps us curious and always wanting to learn more. It definitely makes the journey exciting.
Oh, absolutely. And there's another theory out there, Luther. Cryptids are maybe some unknown creatures, like Bigfoot, skinwalkers, fey folk, or something that we don't even have a name for yet that could possibly be responsible. I mean, think about it, right? You're out there, you got some creature that looks like a bear, maybe, but it's a gentle giant and is just out there, seeing these kids and being like, you're all alone. Like, I don't know what else to do but to help you. So let me get some berries and let me take care of you.
Yeah, it definitely opens up a whole realm of possibilities, and it's kind of a comforting thought in a way that maybe there are these gentle giants or these mysterious creatures out there looking out for people. It just adds another layer of magic to the whole mystery for sure.
I mean, sometimes maybe we're driving along the highway and you see eyes and you're like, what the heck is that? I know I've personally done. I'm like, was that a deer? Nah, it's not a bear. What if it was something else? What if it was some kind of creature that was out there watching me more than I was watching it?
Exactly. It kind of gives you that sense that there's more out there than meets the eye, and it definitely makes every trip into nature feel a little bit more magical and mysterious. It's that sense of wonder that keeps us all curious and excited to explore what else might be out there.
Absolutely. Let's talk about, I don't know, maybe some patterns that shouldn't exist, because we're going to do a quick little more rapid fire on some maybe freaky trends that Paula just noticed, like vanishing near boulder fields and, like we mentioned before, granite formations.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how these patterns pop up, right? Like certain landscapes seem to be a common factor, and it really makes you wonder if there's something about those places that just makes them more mysterious or more prone to these strange occurrences. It's definitely intriguing.
Absolutely. And then southern weather changes during or after disappearances, victims found in areas that were already extensively searched by hundreds, if not thousands, of people.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like nature itself is playing tricks, those sudden weather shifts and then people turning up in places that have been thoroughly searched. It just adds to the mystery and makes you wonder if there's something more at play that we just don't understand yet.
Yep. And like we mentioned earlier, the dogs that are refusing to track or, just behave erratically. Survivors, which is rare, report something was watching them, right? There was also no electronics. Everything seems to kind of die out there, phones, radios, even time. It kind of gets heavy, like walking through syrup made of memories.
Yeah, it's definitely eerie when you think about all those things together. It's almost like there's something out there that just doesn't want to be found or understood, and it definitely makes these cases all the more fascinating and mysterious.
Oh, absolutely. It almost makes you wonder, is hiking with pepper spray even going to help you?
Yeah, right. When you're up against mysteries like this, pepper spray might not be the solution. It's almost like you need a whole new kind of preparedness for these kinds of adventures. It definitely adds a whole new layer to the idea of exploring the great outdoors.
Yeah. And we put out a poll a little while back, and there was a little bit of a teaser. It wasn't, millions of people responding, but thank you to the people that took the time to do that. And we said, hey, what's your thought? What was the most likely explanation for the missing 411? Was it a government cover up? Oh, wow, I think I said that. Government cover up, 42% said, yep. 31% said, hey, it's interdimensional portals. 17% It was just natural causes. Chill, everybody. 10% cryptids or creatures that we just try to find all the time and make a whole bunch of TV shows out of.
Well, that's definitely an interesting spread of opinions. It seems like people are really leaning into the more mysterious explanations, and I can't blame them. It's definitely fun to think about all the possibilities, and it keeps the conversation going. There's just so much intrigue around this whole topic.
Yeah, and listen, all the people that took the poll, this may come off a little harsh, but you're all right. And, well, you're kind of all wrong, too, because honestly, trying to know what the actual answer is kind of like explaining or trying to explain thunder to a fish.
Exactly. It's one of those mysteries that might just be beyond our current understanding, and that's okay. You know, it keeps us curious, keeps us exploring, and sometimes it's the journey of trying to figure it all out that makes it so fascinating.
Luther, how would you explain thunder to a fish? I'm curious now.
That's a tough one. I guess you'd have to say it's like a big rumbling sound from above the water that you can feel even if you can't see it. It's kind of like trying to explain the unseen forces that shape our world, which is a pretty good metaphor for these mysteries, right?
Oh, well done. All right. Anything else that you want to add, or whether it's stories, theories, some information about the missing 411?
I think we covered a lot of the fun and intriguing aspects of it. The biggest takeaway is just that these mysteries keep us all curious and keep us wondering about the world around us, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Whether it's creatures, conspiracies, or cosmic slip-ups, something is happening in the wilderness that defies explanation. If you're hiking this summer, stay alert and never hike alone. And if you feel the air go still, don't look behind you. I would highly recommend just keep walking fast, like real fast.
Absolutely. A little bit of caution and awareness goes a long way. And who knows, maybe one day we'll have some answers to these mysteries. But until then, it definitely keeps things interesting and a little bit thrilling.
Yeah, and let's be honest. It's what we do. The history and the mystery makes Triple T, fun and intriguing. So, Luther, I got nothing else. I can't thank you enough. Anybody that's still listening for whatever reason, probably because you just haven't quite finished the drink yet, that is fine. So, Luther, I'm gonna let you take us out, brother. Hit us with the outro. Hit us with something that's gonna that the people are gonna not only love, giggle, but want to come back next week. You got me?
You got it. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this wild ride through the mysteries of the wilderness. Remember, keep your eyes open, your spirits high, and if you ever hear a strange noise in the woods, maybe it's just Bigfoot inviting you over for a cup of tea. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Triple T. Take care, everyone.
Exactly what he said. Can't thank you guys enough. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.